Okay, good evening everybody. I am BGM, or Bigger Gayer Magic, and here on Live Deck Building, we take suggestions of what you would want to run in our commander deck. Tonight, our commander is going to be Ezio Antonio de Firenze. He is one of the main flagship characters from the Assassin's Creed series. This is a Universes Beyond commander. This is the 5-color Assassin tribal deck. Ezio is a 2-drop Menacey 2-drop Menacey 3/2. He also gives assassin spells you cast free running 2 black. That means that if we deal damage with an assassin, Ezio is an assassin, we can cast assassin spells from our hand for 2 black mana. And there are a ton of Dimir assassins especially that can have really impactful connection triggers that we could run in this deck. So if y'all have any suggestions for Ezio Auditore, please, Ezio and Auditore de Firenze, please put them in the chat, y'all. We are gonna run some, so let's start with Edward Kenway. He's an Assassin's Creed character I can remember. Edward Kenway, Jackdaw Captain, is a 4-drop in Grixis colors. He says other pirates you control get +1/+1. He's not an assassin. I believe he's from Assassin's Creed 4 or 5. At the beginning of your end step, gain control of target non-land permanent controlled by a player who was dealt combat damage by 3 or more pirates this turn. So he could be a Grixis pirate commander. That's pretty good. Man, I went for like an Assassin's Creed character, not an assassin. We're starting off real strong tonight, y'all. If you have any suggestions for our Assassin Tribal deck, please put them in the comments. Okay, this Edward is an assassin. Let's get started on him. Hey, love your content. What's the difference between regular Magic and Commander Magic? Pickle Inspector, thank you. That's a nice thing to say. That's a really nice comment. Commander is a format within Magic the Gathering. Commander is the format that I play. It's the only format that I play. Formats are different ways to play Magic. Commander, it's the only one I play. We do live deck building. We only do Commander deck building because I'm very basic. Yeah, if you have any guys got any suggestions for Ezio Auditore de Firenze, put them in the chat, y'all. We have a ton of new Assassin's card from a set that came in, I think it was either this year, early or late last year. We got an Assassin's Creed Universes Beyond crossover. At the beginning of your end step, create a treasure token for each tapped assassin, pirate, or vehicle you control. Or whenever a vehicle you control deals combat damage to a player, you look at the top card of that player's library and you exile that card face down. You may play that card for as long as it remains exiled. Okay, cool. So this one looks like it kind of wants to be a commander in and of itself because it's wants that connection trigger. Whenever a vehicle you control deals combat damage, it's a vehicle commander. I don't know if this one quite fits in our assassin deck. Man, Edward is not doing great. Hey Gunner, Gunner. Actually, when I was putting this stupid costume on, I was like, I hope Gunner sees my very stupid costume. Unstoppable Slasher, cool suggestion. That thing's from Duskmourn. It's mono black. It's something that keeps coming back. It's Unstoppable Slasher, mono black, 3-drop. Let's try Slasher. Unstoppable Slasher. Where are you at, buddy? Yeah, Unstoppable. Unstoppable has 2 P's. Unstoppable Slasher is a 3-drop mono black zombie assassin. This little 2/3's got Death Touch, and whenever it connects to a player, they lose half their life total. That's pretty good, but this thing is hard to kill, because when you kill it the first time, it comes back to the battlefield, but it returns with 2, if it had no counters on it, you return to the battlefield tapped under its own control with 2 stun counters on it. So this thing's cool. It can keep coming back, but honestly though, like once it gets killed the first time and it comes back to the battlefield with 2 stun counters on it, it needs 2 turn rotations if you don't have a way to remove those stun counters. And that's, I don't know if he's worth it on that face, but he is an assassin. And yeah, if we can have our opponent's life total, we can also meet our free runner requirements off Ezio Auditore de Firenze. God, please, I really hope no Italian people are watching. Thank you, Gunner. Just use Maskwood Nexus. Yeah, let's talk about Maskwood Nexus. So I have seen a few assassin decks out in the wild, and it seems to be the most popular strategy for our friend Ezio over here is to run things to make not natural we make unnatural assassins usually in an Ezio deck. We run things like Maskwood Nexus to change things into assassins. Creatures you control are every creature type. The same is true for creature spells you control and creature cards you own that aren't on the battlefield, i.e. cards in your hand. So Maskwood Nexus can give everything in our hand free running. It's cool. It feels a little samey, though. Honestly, it feels like a way to break any tribal deck. You can just throw in Maskwood Nexus, throw in the best creatures, and you're kind of done. I do see a lot of that. Counterpoint to what I just said, it's a really good fucking strategy. Timeless Lotus. Hey, Juggernaut, how are you doing? Timeless Lotus. Yeah, we'll run a Timeless Lotus. Timeless Lotus is interesting, right? Because it's that 5-color Lotus. Yeah, it's that 5-color Lotus that enters the battlefield tap that has somehow reached $20. I don't, guys, I'm gonna be real with you. It's 5 mana, it enters the battlefield tapped, it has to survive a turn rotation. Do you guys enjoy this card? It must be a good card. It's $20. I don't know. I'm kind of torn on the Lotus. I have not seen a lot of the Lotus being played, personally. But it's good. It must be good. It's $20. Arcuno. I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing your name. You say tap that assin. Okay, that's fine. Roaming Throne, Cavern of oh, of course, yeah. Let's talk about Roaming Throne. All right, guys, let's take bets for how many times Roaming Throne is going to be suggested during our tribal tech deck. Roaming Throne simply is it's probably is the best tribal creature ever printed. I feel comfortable saying that. This is a $40 colorless 4-drop with Ward 2 that enters and you choose a creature type. We're going to pick Assassins, because of Assassin's Creed. And this thing is going to cause all of those triggered abilities of things of that type to happen again. That's ETBs, that's death triggers. Whenever something happens, you do the thing. You do the thing twice. I'm going to say it at least 6... God. All right, Connor. I can always count on you. Yeah, so that's Roaming Throne. It's great. It's amazing. It is $40, though, so you could run a proxy if you would like to play test it. It's a really good fucking card. It came out in the Caverns of Ixalan last year or the year before. I don't know. Time is... Since we are giving things free running, you could maybe run extra combat phases and yeah, there's a Assassin's Creed card. I think it's Power Attack? Power Attack is an Assassin's Creed that gives us another... Yeah, it is! Nope, it was not. It was Overpowering Attack. So on Overpowering Attack, it looks like we have Bayek of Siwa charging up a swing. He's got a 5 mana red $3 sorcery. It itself has a reduced casting cost if you can get it to free run. And you untap all creatures you control and you get an additional combat phase followed by an additional main phase. This thing's good. If you are a combat-based deck, anytime you're running something that says go to combat again, it's kind of like, I don't want to say it's analogous to an extra turn, but you are doing, like, you're getting there twice as fast. Extra combat's really good. Careful about chaining them. People might get poopy. Hey, Mateo, how are you doing? Seize the day. Seize the day. Guys, my YouTube is popping off. 3 people from YouTube have commented. This is the best, like, YouTube interaction I've ever got in my entire life. Let's talk about Seize the Day. Thanks, y'all, for hanging out with me. Seize the Day isn't actually a card I'm familiar with. Seize the Day. Okay, Mono Red Seize the Day. $16, 4 mana, Mono Red sorcery. Untap target creature. After this phase, there's an additional combat phase, followed by an additional main phase, and you can flash this thing back. Okay, great. So we just talked about how great multiple combats can be. This thing is two extra combats, and you cast the first one for 4 mana, and then on the following turn, if there's any survivors, you can flash this thing back for 3 mana. Cons about this card: it's old, and it's $16. It's good, though. It's undeniably a really good card. It gives you 2 additional combat phases. Thank you, Eric Morgan, for the follow over on TikTok. And thank you guys for the 69. Nice! 69 likes on TikTok. Damn, it just jumped up to 100. But thank you guys for hanging out with me on TikTok. What does TikTok have to say about this? Eric Morgan says Scarblade Elite. Scarblade Elite. Scarblade Elite. That sounds like an elf creature to me. It is. Scarblade Elite is a black little black 2/2 elf assassin. And this thing's got an activated ability where we can tap the Scarblade Elite, remove an assassin card in your graveyard from the game, and you destroy target creature. Honestly, amazing. 10 out of 10. This thing is $3. I bet this thing jumped up $1 when the Assassin's Creed set dropped. This thing is probably one of the best synergistic tribal removal pieces we could find. It says it doesn't add instant speed. It doesn't have like a prior or a timing restriction of like once per turn or sorcery speed. If we can untap this thing, we can just keep doing it. We're also in 5 colors. I like this thing. I like activated abilities a lot, especially ones that you can activate on other people's turns, which this you can. Pretty good. Oh, and having the thing in the graveyard to exile as part of the cost, I feel like we're going to be able to pretty readily do that. Adam Murray, how are you doing, dude? You say Audric Lunarch Marshall. Audric Lunarch Marshall. Audric Lunarch Marshall. Excuse me. This thing's amazing. I love him. I'm so glad he keeps getting reprinted and keeps coming down in price. I'm so glad he's less than $1. This creature shares keywords. It shares keywords on a combat trigger at the beginning of each combat. Great. So let's talk about it. It shares keywords each combat. That's not just your combat. That's also your opponent's combats. So if you got things like flying, death touch, other significant keywords during blocking, he will share those out as well. I love Audric. Audric is so good. He's not an assassin, but he is... I don't even need him to be. Honestly, he's so fun in every deck, especially if you have multiple keywords stretched out across multiple creatures in your deck. It's a good time. Highly recommend an Audric. He's a lot of fun, and he's also only 50 cents. Reek and Recon, how are you doing? Uh-oh, Reek and Recon wants us to run the Tree of Perdition. Tree of Perdition is the black tree, right? Okay, Tree of Perdition is a 4-mana, $24 plant 0/13. 0/13 Defender activated ability. Exchange target opponent's life total with this creature's toughness. Tee-hee, how funny is this? Okay, I have been seeing this thing all over the place because of that Felithar precon, the Abzan Toughness Matters precon, and also the Baator Toughness Matters deck that also came out. This thing, I have been seeing this thing all over the place. It is diabolical, especially in the hands of those Abzan Toughness Matters decks. It's a good time. I wonder if this thing also recently saw a price jump because of those decks. Yeah, but I honestly didn't realize how expensive it is to build your own. That's why I do a lot online. Rogue's Passage. Juggernaut wants us to run Rogue's Passage. Okay, so Rogue's Passage is a bit of a commander staple at this point. It's a little colorless land. It lets you tap for colorless. It enters untapped, but it also lets you pay 3 mana to make one of your creatures unblockable. This is a staple land in Voltron Matters decks. We already have Menace over on Ezio over here, but this thing can just make him outright unblockable, which is pretty good, especially if like the theme of our deck is using Ezio's trigger to get things to have free running in our hand. Yeah, auto include. Great suggestion. Also, I don't know if you guys can see this down here, but it is 69 cents. Nice. Colossus Yoshikage Keurig says Colossus of Akros. Colossus of Akros. That is a Theros card. Okay, Colossus. Colossus of Akros. Colossus of Akros. Okay, I like this art. This art goes hard. This is a 10/10 8/8 golem creature with a defender and indestructible keyword. It has an activated ability of Monstrosity 10. If the creature ain't monstrous, you put 10+1/+1 counters. It's now a monstrous creature. As long as this thing is monstrous, it has trample and can attack as though it didn't have defender. What a good time this thing is. It's a colorless bomb. It's $2 instead of one of those $30 Eldrazi things. I like this thing. It's a great budget colorless piece. It's a good time. It's just a fun card. I don't know if it quite fits the theme of Assassin Tribal, but if we're running things like Maskwood Nexus to give other things that aren't naturally assassins, make them assassins, and duct them into the order, this thing can fit right in. It's also a hoot. It's a really fun card. Red Lemming, how are you doing? You want us to run Atrata? Oh my god, I was really hoping we were going to get to talk about Atrata tonight. Are all of the Atratas assassins? Atrata, Deadly, Fugitive. Okay, so this is the newest Atrata. It's $1. It's a vampire assassin. It came out in... not Assassin's Creed. It came out in Murders of Karlov Manor. It's a 3-drop. It's got Death Touch. It's a 1/4. And face-down creatures you control have paid 4. Turn this creature face up. If you can't, exile it. Then you may cast the exile card without paying for it. Okay, so if we have creatures that are like Manifest, Dread, other things like that, disguised creatures, Atrata can flip them over even if they're not creatures. And whenever an assassin you control deals combat damage to a player, cloak the top card of that player's library. This thing's amazing. This thing will grab cards for card advantage off your opponent's library. We're able to cast them, and they become creatures. They become creatures. I don't think they become assassin creatures unless we have Maskwood Nexus already on the battlefield to make everything an assassin, but they're little cloaked creatures. Actually, do we have reminder text to tell me what the cloaked creature type is? Ruling, ugh. I don't know how to look it up. All right, do you guys know the creature type on cloaked creatures? Also, 10 out of 10, Red Lemming, great suggestion. Thank you. Eric Morgan with a Necrotol. Necrotol. Do you guys watch Ristic Studies? I really enjoy Ristic Studies. The best Magic Gathering video essays out there, in my personal opinion. I don't know. I feel like he talked about this card recently. This is a 4-drop, mono black, 40 cent, first striking 2/1. And it enters the battlefield. You get to destroy target non-artifact, non-black creature, and it can't be regenerated. It's a good time. It's a destroy effect on an ETB. It itself is an assassin. So in my full, deck tech videos where I talk about a specific commander, I always talk about ramp, card draw, and removal first, and I call them vegetables because they're things your deck needs to do just to have a functional deck, so I like to get them out of the way early. And this thing is synergistic removal. It's removal, it checks the box, our deck is doing removal. It's also an assassin. It has first strike, which isn't a really significant T-word. It's not a very significant body, but it's removal, and it can synergize with our commander. Also, if we can get our commander to trigger giving things free running, it's a 2-mana little piece of removal instead of 4 mana. Really good time. Good suggestion. Very good suggestion. Also 40 cents. All right. Dream Demon! Hey, Dream Demon! Dream Demon, I don't know if you remember, a few weeks ago, we did the saltiest cards. Saltiest cards for an Esper, not an Esper, an Esper Stacks deck. We built Send Triplets on one of the live deck techs, and I took some of the salty suggestions, and I finally recorded that video today. Expect that within a week. Thank you for suggesting cards during that, Dream Demon. Let's talk about Ophelia Viper's Whisperer. It's a 2-drop, it's a jumpstart card, it's super scarce because of the jumpstart pack, so this thing's $23. It's a death-touching Golgari commander. Because it's got that green pip in the text box, it says whenever it attacks, you can pay 2. If you do, you create a little black snake creature token with death touch. It's got a second activated ability where you can pay 5, and until on a turn, whenever one or more Gorgons and or snakes you control deal combat damage to a player, that player loses half their life, rounded up. 10 out of 10, how fun is that? Okay, this would have been such a really good creature design for Vraska, mechanically. This is a good time. Honestly, it's a good time. That second ability, whenever one or more Gorgons or snakes you control deal combat damage to a player, they lose half their life, rounded up. So good. And losing half their life at once is going to get them closer to that last ability on Ezio, where we can pay Wooburg and kill them outright if they have less than 10. Honestly, guys, I've played a few games against Ezio at LGS's, and oftentimes that last ability on Ezio, where it's like if someone has 10 or less life, kill them outright for 5, it's never happened. I've never seen it happen. Cloud Cover. Kept Evergreen, good to see you. Let's talk about Cloud Cover. Cloud Cover is a $3 little Azorius enchantment. Whenever another permanent you control becomes the target of a spell or ability an opponent controls, you can put that card in your hand. Okay. Very cool. So this thing, it can kind of function like interaction. If stuff is going to be destroyed, we can use this thing to put it back in our hand. We can choose to put it in our hand. Yeah, so this is cool. It's going to be a fun little bit of interaction for us. Timeless Spicy Tortilla, good to see you. So let's talk about Timeless Lotus. Timeless Lotus is a 5-drop. It enters the battlefield tapped, and I don't know. I'm kind of torn on it. It's $20. I got to rehang my green screen. And I don't know. How do you guys feel about Timeless Lotus, chat? I haven't really seen a lot of it. I'm kind of underwhelmed. I don't like rocks that enter the battlefield tapped. Usually feels a little bad if I'm being real. And yeah, it's $20, so it has to be good, right? $20 has to be good. Already in the deck. All right, so Tarantula Trust Fund, 10 out of 10 username, Tarantula Trust Fund. Morofon, yeah, Morofon and SEO go brr. Morofon is very fun. He is Morofon the Boundless. He's like a 7-drop colorless shape-shifting creature. He looks like a big purple booger and with horns, and he enters the battlefield. We get to choose a creature type. I'd probably pick Assassins in an Ezio deck. Spells of the chosen type you cast cost Wooburg less. It can't reduce generic mana. And other Assassins you control get +1/+1. Morofon's really cool. At the time of Morofon's printing, I think it was Double Masters, I'm not positive. At the time of Morofon's printing, he was the commander that made every creature type work. Wizards finally printed something that could make random-ass creature types work in Commander. There's a few things that do it now. Yeah, it's a good time. It definitely goes in here. It can do full-on color reduction for a lot of our creatures. And we did see a lot of Assassins in the Assassin's Creed set that have complex mana costs, and Morofon can help reduce a lot of that mana. Yo, those Yu-Gi-Oh cards look fire. Thanks, James. I use it in your Shrine deck. Oh, yeah. To flash in your guys, since most of them probably have Death Touch. Equinox Paradox! You want us to run Progenitor's Icon? Yeah, we'll run Progenitor's Icon. Progenitor's Icon. Progenitor's Icon isn't a card I'm familiar with. Oh, this thing! It's a 50-cent 3-mana rock from Ixalan, Caverns of Ixalan. Enters the battlefield, you choose the Assassin's creature type. It can tap for a mana of any color, like any other 3-drop rock. But you can make the next spell you cast of the chosen type have flash. That's pretty impactful. I like that. It's also 50 cents. That's honestly, it's a good rock. We are in 5 colors. This thing can tap for one of any color, which is fixing. So yeah, there's that. Dead Bridge Chant. Adam Murray wants us to run Dead Bridge Chant. Dead Bridge Chant. I thought that was like a dredgy, like graveyard strategy card. Is it Dread Bridge Chant or Dead Bridge Chant? Let's just try Bridge Chant. Bridge Chant has to come up, right? Yeah, Dead Bridge Chant. It's a 6-mana Golgari enchantment. Came out in one of the Ravnica blocks. It enters the battlefield and you mill yourself 10 cards. At the beginning of your upkeep, choose a card at random in your graveyard. If it's a creature card, put it from the battlefield. Or excuse me, put it onto the battlefield. Otherwise, put it into your hand. Okay, so if we have creatures in our deck, which I imagine we're going to have a bunch of creatures in our deck, we are in Assassin Tribal, we're probably running things that aren't even Assassins, because we're running like a Maskwood Nexus in there as well. Yeah, so this thing can help put out a bunch of creatures, one at a turn. Also, if we're running other graveyard synergies, this thing mills 10 cards, and that could be helpful for those. This card's very popular. Very popular card. Don't promote the commander. Haha. You hate that commander, Roland? I'm sorry. I don't hate it. My friends have built it. I've seen like 2 of them at my local game store. Steely Resolve. Steely Resolve from Eric Morgan. Thank you guys for the 900 likes on TikTok. I really appreciate it. Oh, cool. I guess we got a secret lair of Steely Resolve. that I can't read. Oh my fucking god. Oh, where the fuck are my glasses? Okay. Alright, as this enchantment enters, choose a creature type. Creatures of the chosen type have Shroud. Okay, creatures of the chosen type have Shroud. This thing's cool. I like the front. I wish it wasn't so hard to read for me. Honestly, I can't. You guys probably can't see that at all. It's an enchantment that gives creatures Shroud, but only creatures you control of the chosen type. We probably pick an Assassins. Cool suggestion. Soren Markov. Is Soren Markov an assassin? I thought he was just emo. Soren Markov is a 6 mana, $11 mono black, 3 generic, 3 black pip planeswalker. 3 abilities, +2, deals 2 damage to target creature or player, and you gain yourself 2 life. -3, target opponent's life total becomes 10. That's right. Oh my god, how could I forget this card? God, this card has gotten me so many times. This card is so silly. I kind of think it's hilarious. It enters, target opponent's life total becomes 10. Honestly, for 6 mana, that feels pretty good. Fuck you, life gain players. Oh man, that's silly. Do I even need to read the last ability? You control target player during their next turn. All right, this is fun. I like this. I don't care if it's not an assassin. Ghoul Draz Assassin. I'm just gonna put in Draz Assassin. Draz Assassin. Dream Demon wants us to run that. Draz Assassin. Draz Assassin. Oh, we got one of them Zendikar level up creatures here. This 1-drop wants you to pay so much mana, right? So it wants you to level it up 4 times. So if you level it up 4 times, that's 8 mana, and it casts 1. So if you cast this thing, if you invest 9 mana, let's talk about it as if you invested 9. Target creature gets -2/-. Until okay, so it's a small removal spell, and it becomes a second, kind of more effective removal spell. You do have to pay a ton of mana into it, but you're only paying it in increments of 2. It's easy to find 2 mana in your curve and just play it into this thing, level it up maybe a little bit at a time. I kind of like it. Also, it's a low drop assassin, right? So if this thing's in your hand, you can cast it the turn before you cast Exio, and then you could deal damage with this thing, triggering Ezio the first turn he's on the battlefield, and maybe cast something else for 2 black mana. I don't mind this. It's a 1 mana vampire assassin, and it has tiny removal spells. Also, it feels most effective to me in the early game because it's doing removal in the form of -2/-2 and also -4/-4. It feels like an early game card. Magister Sphinx to make the 10 life Magister Sphinx. Magister Sphinx. Magister Sphinx. Magister Sphinx. Magister Sphinx. Okay, we got a little Esper 7-drop flying 5/5 artifact Sphinx. When this thing comes into play, target player's life total becomes 10. Woo boy! Okay. It's very silly. I kind of like it. I don't know why. I find this a little more heinous than Soren Markov, because the way this works, when it comes into play, that feels like an ETB trigger to me. And if you can get this thing to enter the battlefield a few times, that feels a lot less silly goofy than Soren to me. The abusability of the Sphinx versus Soren, I think, is why I'm a little contentious about our friend Magister Sphinx over here. Nothing is true, everything is permitted. Bayek of Siwa. Oh my god, yeah, we can run Bayek. Yeah, we have seen so few actual Assassin's Creed cards. Bayek of Siwa. Bayek of Siwa was the flagship character for Assassin's Creed Origins. It's the Egyptian Assassin's Creed. Cleopatra's in it for a few parts. Bayek of Siwa was the main character, the one you play as. He's a 5-drop, a Boros 3/4 with double strike in this. He's also an assassin, so he matches with Ezio's synergy over here. He goes in the tribal deck, and as long as it's your turn, other historic creatures you control have double strike, which is amazing. If we filled the deck with just the Assassin's Creed Assassins, we'd have also an historic theme in the deck as well. This thing and the other Boros legendaries from the set also care about historic themes. It's a good time. It gives things double strike. It gives our commander double strike. Also, we can disguise it and get it out early. I don't hate it. You know what's kind of silly, though? If you're going to disguise it from the command... Wait, can you disguise it? You may cast this card face down for 3. You can disguise it from the command zone and then pretend that no one knows it's Bayek of Siwa. That's silly to me. I kind of like it, though. Master Transmuter for the bounce. Master Transmuter. That sounds like another Esper card to me. Master Transmuter. Master Transmuter. Master Transmuter. Okay, Master Trans. Here it goes. There it is. Master Transmuter is a 4-drop, $2 artifact human artificer. It's got an activated ability where we pay a blue mana and we return an artifact you control to its owner's hand, and you may put down an artifact card from your hand onto the battlefield. This thing feels great in an artifact build. We can also run... Is it Maskwood? There's something else. It's similar to Maskwood Nexus. I don't think it's Maskwood Nexus itself, where you turn everything to artifacts and then you make all your opponents sad by gaining control of everything. There's something that works well with it. I don't know. Iridescent Vine Lasher. Iridescent Vine Lasher. Iridescent Vine Lasher. Oh my god, this lizard's an assassin! Good for it. Okay, so this lizard assassin has offspring. That's so good. So it can make multiple assassins. It's also 1 mana. So a few cards ago, we saw that level up Zendikar Vampire. That's 1 mana that you can cast the turn before Ezio and have a creature to deal combat damage to trigger Ezio giving things free running. Real good. This can do that too. Also, it has offspring, so you can get a second one of it. Also, it has landfall trigger. So whenever a land you control enters target opponent, this creature deals 1 damage to target opponent. 10 out of 10. You pay 3 mana, you get 2 of them, and every time a land enters, you get to hit somebody for 2. And it comes out so early. Really good card. SJ Lit wants us to run Massacre Girl. Is Massacre Girl an assassin? Massacre Girl. Massacre Girl. Massacre Girl. Probably too many. Massacre Girl. Massacregirl. Massacre Girl is an assassin. This thing's a board wipe. This thing could be a synergistic board wipe for us. I talk about vegetables in regards to like ramp removal and card draw. Those are things your deck has to do just to function. And this thing can kind of function like a synergistic board wipe if we have enough creatures to bridge the gap of toughnesses. Because Massacre Girl enters the battlefield and gives all creatures -1/-1. And then for each creature that dies, there's another round of -1/-1. So if you have a 1/1, you're gonna kill all the 2/2s. If you have like a 1/1, a 2/2, you're gonna kill everything that's 3 toughness, and so on. So the more creatures that die, the more impactful this board wipe is. Also notable about the way the board wipe functions is that it can get around indestructible because it's just reducing toughness. It is so good. Highly recommend if you care about creatures entering. Like if you have an ETB deck and you need a pinch ETB board wipe, here she is. This thing's also an assassin, so it can help trigger Ezio as well. Also, we can get this thing out for 2 mana in an Ezio deck if we can get the free running thing off Ezio's trigger. It could be a 2 mana board wipe in this deck. No brainer. Very good card. Mosswort Bridge. Mosswort Bridge. Mosswort Bridge. Yeah, it's a hideaway land. Thank you, Gunnar, for the suggestion. So this 50-cent mono green hideaway land. Hideaway means that when this thing enters, we get to look at the top 4 cards of our library, and we get to tuck one underneath it as if it's exiled. It's a good time. And then anything that's hiding something away usually has a way to cast that spell for free. So normally the strategy when you're hiding something away is you want to hide a high CMC spell or a really impactful spell to get off in a crucial moment. This thing can do that by having creatures with power 10 or greater. It's a good time. It's a staple. This thing gets put in precons all the time. If you're looking at this version right now, it looks like this thing was most recently printed in the Murders of Karlov Manor precon. Altair. Altair. Altair, the original Assassin's Creed protagonist, is a legendary 3-drop legendary 3-drop Mardu 3/3 first strike. Whenever it attacks, exile up to 1 target assassin creature card from your graveyard with a memory counter on it. Then, for each other card you own in exile with a memory counter on it, create a tapped and attacking token that's a copy, and you exile those tokens at the end of combat. Okay, cool. So this thing feels a little bit like it wants to be the commander. This thing wants to be an assassin deck as well, except it also wants to fill your graveyard. It's kind of at odds with itself. I wonder if this thing has a lot of... I bet it has a lot of decks built of it, just because it's like the OG Assassin's Creed player character. It's cool. It itself is an assassin. It's aggressively costed at 3 mana, and it's a first striker for 3 power toughness. It's not bad. I just wish it was like spicier. I want it to be spicier. It functions in this deck as a little bit of like removing our own exile for value. I kind of wish that, I don't know. I wish it didn't exile the things and they could just live in your graveyard forever. Unstoppable Slasher. So we saw Unstoppable Slasher earlier, but it's cool. It's from Duskmourn. It's a 3-drop. It's mono black. It says that whenever it connects by dealing combat damage to a player, that player loses half their life total. It's also an assassin, and when it dies, you get to put it back onto the battlefield if it didn't have counters on it, and you get to put 2 stun counters on it, and then you get to wait like an hour if it's in the late game in a commander turn, and then you get to untap it. I don't know, guys. I haven't seen this thing be really impactful in a commander game. It's a relevant creature type in our deck, but that those 2 stun counters, like that, it's painful. I kind of wish it was just 1. Then it might be too good. I don't know. Do you guys play this? Did you add Cover of Dark? Alexander, I didn't add Cover of Darkness. Let's talk about Cover of Darkness. Cover of Darkness is a very cool card. It's mono black. It's like a 2-drop enchantment. It says that as it enters the battlefield, you choose a creature type. We're probably picking assassins tonight. And creatures of the chosen type have fear. Fear means that they can't be blocked except by artifact creatures and black creatures. So only black creatures and artifact creatures can block our very fearful assassins. Which is great, because Ezio triggers when we connect, and he triggers in a way that makes the assassins in our hand only cost 2 black mana. It's a good time. Very synergistic. Thank you for the suggestion. Mari the Killing Quill. Mari the Killing Quill. Mari the Killing Quill. Okay, what are you from? I have no idea what you... Is this a new Capenna card? Okay, this looks like a new Capenna commander card. Mari the Killing Quill. Legendary $6, 3/2, 3 mana vampire assassin. Whenever a creature an opponent controls dies, you exile it with a hit counter on it. Assassins, mercenaries, and rogues you control have death touch, and whenever this creature deals combat damage to a player, you may remove a hit counter from a card that player owns in exile. If you do, draw a card and create 2 treasure tokens. Okay, cool. So this thing says that you want to kill your opponent's creatures, to exile them with kill counters. Then you want your creatures to connect and deal combat damage, because when they do, you get that trigger and you draw a card and you make 2 treasures. So this thing is ramp and card draw stapled to a single assassin, and it can trigger itself, right? Yes, it can. Also, because it's giving the rogues and the assassins the ability, all of them have the ability. So whenever they connect, you do have the opportunity to remove the hit counters and then get those value. I don't know. It feels clunky. I feel like there's a lot going on. First, you need stuff to die to get exile with hit counters. Then you need to connect to remove hit counters from the thing to get the value. It feels clunky, but I bet it's really, really powerful in practice. Because 1 card and 2 treasure tokens for killing something you were probably already going to kill and you just get a connection. I don't know. Little clunky, little hard to explain. Zoxo Bear, Zox, is it Zoxo Bear? Says it's a really good card. You know what? I'm gonna go with Zoxo Bear. That's a fun username. Minas Morgul land. Minas Morgul. Minas Morgul. Minas Morgul. It's a land from the... Oh, it's the black land from Lord of the Rings. This thing has activate, add a black for each swamp you control. Oh, it's Urborg. Okay, I feel like there's another one of these. Maybe it's the Dark... Did you mean the Dark Fortress version? This is a legendary land. It enters the battlefield tapped. You can tap it for black, or you can activate it for 4 and tapping it. You put a shadow counter on target creature for as long as that creature has a shadow counter on it. It's a Wraith in addition to its other types. Okay, this thing's very cool. So there was a Nazgul deck, which was a Wraith tribal deck. There were a few different commanders for it. And this thing feels like a must-have land in that deck. Honestly, the art goes hard. This is very cool. Very cool looking card, but I feel like it only really wants to be in that Wraith deck. But if we're running something like Maskwood Nexus that's fucksing around with creature types and making everything, this works for that too. I get, like, it's a very cool looking card, I say that. Kindred Summons makes Mari clutch. Kindred Summons makes Mari... I feel like Kindred Summons makes all tribal decks clutch. Kindred Summons. Is that the green 7-drop? It is the green 7-drop. Let's talk about it. Choose a creature type. Probably Assassins tonight, y'all. Reveal cards from the top of your library until you reveal X creature cards of the chosen type, where X is the number of creatures you control of the chosen type. Put those cards onto the battlefield, then put the rest of the reveal cards into your then shuffle the rest of the real cards in your library. This thing's cool. It's just a win more card. You have a bunch of assassins, spend 7 mana, get a bunch of more assassins. Thank you very much, CBK, for the follow. I appreciate it. I'm BGM, or Bigger Gear Magic. On live deck building, we talk about whatever cards y'all want to talk about, and I pick the commander. Tonight we're talking about Ezio Auditore de Firenze from the Assassin's Creed expansion. And our next suggestion is from Gunner. You want us to run Kindred Dominance, Gunner? Doesn't that feel a little mean, Gunner? If you want to suggest a card for our live or our deck, please put it in the comments. If you see your card over here, it'll be put to a Moxfield deck list. And if you want to see what other people are running in Ezio in this live, you can check out the Moxfield page and see all the other suggestions there. Thanks for hanging out with me. And thank you guys for the 1,000 likes on TikTok. I really appreciate it. And thank you, Eric Morgan, for the rose. Kindred Dominance, $15, mono black, 7 mana sorcery, $15. That's a little different. Choose a creature type, destroy all creatures that aren't the chosen type. This thing's great. It's a one-sided board wipe. It's probably the best board wipe we could run, unless there's like a very specific Assassin's board wipe. This thing's great. Lots of tribal decks want it. Every tribal deck running black wants it. It's a one-sided board wipe. It's a little pricey for 7 mana, but it's only killing shit that ain't yours. So that's pretty good. Ravenloft Adventurer. Ravenloft Adventurer, suggested by Alexander Ibarra. Excuse me. Ravenloft Adventurer, 50 cent, 4 mana. Baldur's Gate 3/4. Excuse me. Enters the battlefield, you take the initiative. That's that weird dungeon trigger that I can't remember of. If a creature an opponent controls would die, instead exile and put a hit counter on it. Oh shit, we got hit counters again. Whenever Ravenloft Adventurer attacks, if you've completed a dungeon, defending player loses 1 life for each card they own it. Exile with a hit counter on it. I don't hate that. I feel like this thing is like the second best card in that Mary deck. Or that Mary mono black commander we saw a few cards ago from New Capenna. This thing feels like that thing's best friend because it uses the same kind of counters. Olivia, Opulent Outlaw. Oh, Olivia, Opulent Outlaw. Olivia, Opulent Outlaw is a Mardu legendary creature. It's a 3/3. It flies and it lifelinks. Whenever 1 or more outlaws you control deal combat damage to a player, you make yourself a treasure token. Mercenaries, assassins, pirates, rogues, and warlocks are outlaws. Spend 3 mana, sacrifice 2 treasures, put 2+1/+1 counters on your creature you control, activate only as a sorcery. This thing's great. Treasure Ramp is just great. This thing has a precon all its own, and that deck, surprise, surprise, is great. It's definitely one-track minded on the Outlaw theme for the Olivia deck, but this thing, because Outlaws can just umbrella Assassins into them, it works really good in this deck. Also, the activated ability where we pay 3 mana, sacrifice 2 treasures, get to spread some +1/+1 counters around, that doesn't even feel that bad. It's not even restricted to Outlaws. Pretty good. Very good commander. Adewale, Breaker of Change. Hey, Gabe, how are you doing? Adewale, Breaker of Chains. He was from the Pirate Assassin's Creed game. He was your first mate to Edward Kenway. He is a 3-drop legendary human assassin pirate in Dimir colors, and he's only 40 cents. He's a 4/1. He ain't got no toughness. And when this thing enters the battlefield, reveal the top 6 cards of your library, and you put an assassin, pirate, or vehicle card from among them into your hand and the rest on the bottom in a random order. And whenever a vehicle you control deals combat damage to a player, you may return Adewale from your graveyard to your hand. I like that he can recur himself. He's kind of like a Dimir vehicle deck. Yeah, honestly, he's Dimir vehicles. He could be a very cool Dimir vehicle commander. I've never built... Have you guys built vehicles before? Also, he does a little bit of card advantage. He himself is an assassin, so he fits with the theme. He can help trigger Ezio. And I wouldn't quite... I don't know. He gets you 1 card. He gives you 1 piece of card selection, and it probably has to be an assassin in this deck in particular, because that's the theme we're running. I don't know. He's good. He fits the boxes. He isn't uncommon. That's probably why he feels powered down. Alright, okay. Gunnar wants us to run an Ulamog. The Infinite Gyre. Ulamog the Infinite Gyre is a $45, 11 mana, colorless, legendary Eldrazi 10/10. When you cast this thing, you get to destroy a permanent. Can be a land. It's indestructible. It has Annihilator 4. Annihilator is just the meanest attack trigger. Whenever this creature attacks, defending player sacrifices 4 permanents. If you don't have 4 permanents that aren't lands, you gotta sacrifice your lands, big boy. This thing also says, whenever it is put into a graveyard from anywhere, into its owner's... When it's put into a graveyard from anywhere, you shuffle it into its owner's library. These things, in the cycle of it, I think there's Emrakul and also Kozilek. These ones that shuffle them in, they're referred to by the community as the Shuffle Titans. Atrada, Deadly Fugitive is... Yeah, so we talked about that. This one's amazing. Okay, so this one's going to get us card advantage off our opponent's libraries. It's going to make creatures for us, so if we don't want to block with Assassins because they're too valuable, we can use the cloaked creatures that Atrada makes off the connection trigger. Whenever an Assassin you control deals combat damage to an opponent, you cloak the top card of that player's library. Atrada also says face-down creatures you control have turn this creature face up, and if it's not a creature, we get to cast it. It's really good. Really, really good. Often a weakness of Manifest Red, Manifest decks, anything that's making face-down creatures or disguised creatures, is that if they're not a creature, you can't really use them for anything. But Atrada lets us cast them for 4 mana. So, so good. This thing might be a fun build in and of itself, and it's only $1. Aveline. Okay, Aveline. Oh yeah, I remember her. So I think she's from Assassin's Creed Liberty. She's a 4-drop, but she's in Golgari colors because she's got that black mana pip in her text box. This death-touching legendary human assassin 3/3 says whenever a creature you control with death touch deals combat damage to a player, put that many +1/+1 counters on that creature. Cool, Death Touch is a meaningful keyword. This thing would be a very cool little Death Touching Golgari commander. Yeah, I like this thing. It's also cheap as hell at 40 cents. It's also an assassin. And we can disguise it. You may have it down as a 2/2 creature with Ward 2. I wish it said the creature type. Oh, Zoxo Bear is a big fan of Metallic. Yeah, Metallic Mimic is great. Metallic Mimic is a staple of Tribals decks, in my opinion. Metallic Mimic. Why can't I not spell Metallic Mimic? Because there's 2 L's in Metallic, you stupid moron. Metallic Mimic is like a 2-drop little tribal piece. It enters the battlefield, you choose a creature type, and this thing is the type in addition to its other types. Each other creature you control of the chosen type enters the battlefield with an additional +1/+1 counter. So we saw that Aveline does care about +1/+1. She puts out +1/+1 counters. We've seen a few other cards that care about +1/+1 counters. I'm not sure it's a sub-theme of our deck, but we are noticing a few of them. This thing's just great in almost any tribal deck that runs a lot of lower-cost tribal creatures. This thing is very good in Merfolk, very good in Goblins. It's a good time. Thank you, Zoxo Bear, for the suggestion. It's not incredible, but it's a cheap drop, and when you're playing heavy monsters, getting +1... It does not suck, Zoxo Bear. Thank you for the suggestion. This card's real good. Should be able to get multiple triggers in one combat, right? Thoughts on Final Fantasy collab? Spicy Banana Pie. I made a video about how I felt about the Final Fantasy collab a few months ago, and my take wasn't... It's not a very intelligent take, but it's that I really want sexy Zaddy Sidolphus from Final Fantasy 16. Has to be Final Fantasy specific because that's the one where he has facial hair. I'm sorry, I'm just a man. That's how... Yeah, so basically I don't care about Cloud or... To cloak a card, turn it face down, it becomes a 2/2 face down creature card with ward, no name, no subtypes, and no mana cost. Thank you, Mateo Cortez. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Yeah, so it ain't got no creature type, it ain't got no subtypes, and it ain't got no mana cost, and it ain't got no name. Thank you, Mateo. I really appreciate that. Alright, so... Ariman07 wants us to run Torian Mauler. Torian Mauler is an assassin. Oh god, can I spell Torian? I sure hope that's right. Torian Mauler, it's mono red. Oh my god. Let's just put in Mauler. How many Maulers can there be? Torian Mauler, mono red. It's like a 3-drop. It's got a metallic bull on the art. Here it is. Okay, it's $1.50. It's a shape-shifting 2/2. It's got changeling, meaning that it is an assassin today. And whenever an opponent casts a spell, you may put a +1/+1 counter on this creature. So this card's amazing. This card goes in every tribal deck, and that's kind of why I'm kind of pooped out on it. Torian Mauler is all over the place. It goes in every tribal deck. It's a sliver. Most of the time I see it as a sliver, just because that's the way I've most normalized to me, it hurting me. It's a really good card, but it is played all over the place. Valid take. Thank you, Gunnar. I really hope that was for me. Laughing Jasper Flint is funny, even though he's not... Yeah, Laughing Jasper Flint is funny. Laughing Jasper Flint. Laughing Jasper Flint is a legendary 3-drop lizard rogue. He is a 4/3. Creatures you control but don't own are mercenaries in addition to their types, and at the beginning of your upkeep, exile the top X cards of your target opponent's library, where X is the number of outlaws we got. Assassins are outlaws. Until end of turn, you may cast spells from among those cards, and you may spend mana as though it was mana of any type. Good time. So if this thing does card advantage. It doesn't do card advantage of our cards, it does card advantage of our opponent's cards. It also fixes mana, which isn't significant in a 5-color deck, but this thing's a good time. This thing's a good time. I have not seen this thing be its own commander deck, but I bet it's a good time. Also, if there's a Rakdos that was printed in Thunder Junction that's also not a assassin, but that Rakdos also can play cards off your opponent's library. Oh, was that valid take for Final Fantasy? Gunnar, we're kindred souls. Oh, Rebecca, you just built Ezio? It's not great, but it's on theme for Assassin's Creed. So I don't care. Rebecca, I hope you're having a really good time with your Assassin's Creed deck. I have a few friends of mine that I play with at the game store. Two of them have Ezio decks, and they're both good times. They're both doing like kind of Maskwood Nexus style strategies in it, though. How is yours, though? You say you're doing most of the Assassin's Creed stuff? That's cool. Yeah, it was. Same way we have the same feelings about the new Vault Hunters. Oh, that's right. That was a fun talk we had. I hope her gets a card in final. Heidegger. I really hope that's how you say it. What game are they from? You have to run Ramses, if only for the memes, unless you already looked at him. Mateo, I'll run Ramses, and even if I did look at him, I'll pull him up for you. Let's talk about Ramses. I don't think I've talked about Ramses ever. I don't know what Ramses is. Cram session. Ramses Assassin Lord. This is a... Oh, this thing! Okay, I've seen this thing once, I think. It's like... Other assassins you control get +1/+1, death touching 4/4. Whenever a player loses the game, if they were attacked this turn by an assassin you control, you win the game! I do remember this thing. When Ezio first came out, people were putting Ezio right next to this thing and be like, look at the thing you could do! Yeah, it's cool. It's great. It's an alternate win con. You kill one guy, you won the game. You did the thing. Arrescat Simpace, or however you say the Assassin's Creed rest in peace thing. It's good. It's really good. I'm glad it came down in price, because I remember this thing shot up a little bit when Assassin's Creed came out. Queen Marchesa. Yeah, we'll run Queen Marchesa. Queen Marchesa, I think she's Mardu, right? Yeah, she's a human assassin. She's also a queen. She's 4 mana. She's a 3/3. She got haste. She got death touch. And when this thing enters the battlefield, you become the monarch. That means we get to draw a card at our end step unless we lose it. And at the beginning of your upkeep, if an opponent is the monarch, create a 1/1 black assassin creature token with death touch and haste. Okay, cool. I don't hate this. I'm glad the thing is made at your upkeep so that you can try to take the monarch. Yeah, I don't hate that. I don't hate that at all. If you guys are familiar with a content creator called the Nitpicking Nerds, there's not Beezy. What's his name? I don't know. It's the main guy from the Nitpicking Nerds. At a Command Fest, I got to play with the Nitpicking Nerds, Mia and Beezy, I think his name is. And Beezy was playing Queen Marchesa, and Beezy won. That was a cool experience. Reign of Gore. Reign of Gore. Reign of Gore. Reign of Gore. Rakdos enchantment. 2 mana, $13. If a spell or ability would cause its controller to gain life, that player loses the life instead. This thing is heinous. This thing is only 2 mana. I feel like I've heard about this card, but I've never seen this card before. I don't think. This thing's crazy. I see why it's $13. The art does go hard. I can't even really tell what's going on there. Yeah, thank you, Gabe, for the suggestion. This thing is cool. It turns off the life gain player, and I don't know anyone who does that. But yeah, good time. Do you have a Caldeus Assassin? No, I ain't got a Caldeus Assassin. Caldeus Assassin. Caldeus Assassin is from Warhammer 40k. It's cool. It's like a 6-drop. It's in Jameer colors. I like this thing. So I got the Astartes Esper Precon. Astartes Esper token Precon from Warhammer 40k, and this thing was in it. I put this thing in my ETB Atraxa build, and it's a good time. It enters the battlefield. It can enter as a copy of something, except when this thing enters, it kills the original. Very silly. It itself is removal. It is an assassin. Wait, does it stay an assassin, though? You may have this thing enter the battlefield tapped as a copy of any creature on the battlefield, except it has when this creature enters the battlefield, destroy up to 1 other target creature with the same name as this creature. Okay, so let's talk about it, right? So this thing is an assassin, but it's not really going to function like an assassin on the battlefield. This thing's assassin creature type is only going to give us value when it's in a graveyard, and we can target it when we need to target assassins in our graveyard. Other than that, it's probably not going to enter the battlefield as an assassin unless we need to kill one of our own assassins for some reason. This is usually going to be one of our opponent's creatures. I, however, really enjoy this card. If I have to be real with you, I don't think it's worth $7. I would say it's maybe worth $2. I unfortunately don't think it's worth $7. But thank you for the suggestion. In the deck it goes. It is an assassin, and the thing I like about it is that it can be an assassin in the graveyard and in your hand, so you can cast it for 2 mana off Ezio because it's got the assassin type, which is good. Shay Cormac! Oh my god, how did we forget Shay Cormac? Shay Cormac is Connor's father from the Assassin's Creed. Connor is like Assassin's Creed 4's protagonist. He's the Native American protagonist who was his game took place during the Revolution. I really enjoyed that game. I think it was the game right before Black Flag. A lot of people don't. But anyway, we're going on a tangent. Anyway, Shay Cormac is a Orzhov legendary human knight rogue. He is not an assassin. He is a 1/1. He's got an activated ability. Permanents your opponent's control lose hexproof and indestructible, protection, shroud, and ward until end of turn. That feels pretty good. And whenever a creature an opponent controls becomes the target of a spell or ability you control, put a bounty counter on that creature. And whenever a creature with a bounty counter on it dies, put 2 counters on Shay Cormac. Okay, so this thing is kind of like just a fuck you bear, honestly. This thing removes all the keywords that make sure that your creatures can't get removed. It also gets counters when things with bounty counters die. Yeah, this is a mean-ass commander. Like, if you want to run removal.deck, you could play Shay Cormac. He'll come out early game at 2 mana. This could be a real mean build. Also, he's useful just for removing those keywords. So I know there isn't much, but how would you go about making Mobilize type Zergo deck? Mobilize. Let's start Zergo. Yeah, we'll pull up Zergo for a sec. I'll talk about that. He's the new Zergo, right? That's new Zergo. Yeah. Zergo Hell Smasher attacks each combat if able. It has indestructible whenever creature. Nope, that's probably not the right one. Storm Render. Yeah, Mobilize Zergo. Okay, so this thing just got a precon in the Dragonstorm Dark here. It's $8 right now. Whenever a creature token you control leaves the battlefield, draw a card if it was attacking. Otherwise, each opponent loses 1 life. I would... Honestly, I'd just fill it with tokens. I'd fill it with tokens and sacrifice outlets. Sacrifice outlets that you could use at instant speed so that you can kill them while they're attacking. Whenever a creature token you control leaves the battlefield, draw a card if it was attacking. Yeah, I'd fill it with instant speed sacrifice outlets so that I can get Zergo to trigger during combat when I want cards and during not combat when I want my opponents to die. That's how I would approach it. And I just run things that make obscene amounts of tokens. Like, I'd put Call the Coppercoats is a favorite of mine. Call the Coppercoats. Call the Coppercoats. Call the Coppercoats. 3-drop mono white instant. You make a guy for each guy your opponent already has, and you can pay more mana to strive it out to pick multiple opponents, so you can make a guy for each thing on the battlefield if you want to dump 7 mana into this thing. I love Call the Coppercoats. It's a good time. Tree of Perdition. Why do people keep saying Tree of Perdition? Tree of Perdition is a mono black card. It's 4-drop. It's Defender 0/13. It's $24. It's a plant. It's not an assassin. You can exchange target opponent's life total with this creature's toughness. Oh, I get it now. All right, so I don't care about Ezio's last step. I completely don't factor it in when deck building because when I see my friends run Ezio, I have never seen that ability be meaningful ever. If I'm being real with you, I must have played like 10 games with their Ezio decks by now. Never seen it come up. That's just me personally. But Tree of Perdition is really cool. It can reduce their life total to 13, which is a lot closer to 10 than their natural 40. So yeah, I get it now. I finally understand why you guys keep telling me to run Tree of Perdition in this. My bad. The Lord of Pain. Oh, the Lord of Pain. The Lord of Pain. Is the Lord of Pain an assassin? Is it an assassin? Ooh, it is an assassin. The Lord of Pain is from one of the Duskmourn precons. This 5-drop human assassin made of TVs is a 5/5 menace and your opponents can't gain life. Whenever a player casts their first spell each turn, choose another target player. The Lord of Pain Deals damage equal to that spell's mana value to the chosen player. This thing's so mean, but it's kind of fair, right? Because when you get down to 1v1 with the Lord of Pain in the command zone, the Lord of Pain deals damage equal to that spell's mana value to the chosen player. So when they start casting stuff and you're the only other target, the Lord of Pain is going to start hurting you, which I find like a really good piece of game design. I really like that, if I'm being real with you. Three Tree City. How expensive do you guys think Three Tree City? Do you think Three Tree City is $20? Nope, it's $33, and kind of rightfully, this card is the best tribal land in existence at this time. Enters the battlefield, choose a creature type, enters untapped, and you add colorless, or you can pay 2, choose a color, and you make a mana of that color for each creature you control of the chosen type. It's insane. If you have a ton of tokens of the same type, you can use Three Tree City to make all the mana you need to win the game. Thraxamunda. Thraxamunda is a cool commander. He's a 6/6. He's 7 mana. He's a zombie assassin. Got haste. Oh yeah, he fits in here. I didn't realize Thraxamunda was an assassin. Whenever this thing attacks, defending player sacrifices a creature. Whenever a player sacrifices a creature, you may put a +1/+1 counter on Thraxamunda. Very fun. Alright, so playing against Thraxamundar is oppressive. I've played against Thraxamundar. He's mean, because he just runs a ton of edicts in his deck. He forces you to continually sacrifice your board wipe. He's best friends with Turgid and Toxrill. Alright, guys. I think we're going to take a few more. The World Tree. Right. Hey, Bradley Williams. Thank you for the World Tree. Let's talk about the World Tree. The World Tree. The World Tree. The World Tree is a land. It's $6. It enters the battlefield tapped, and you can tap it for green. And as long as you control 6 or more lands, it fixes your mana and lets your lands tap for 1 mana of any color. You can also pay 10 and sacrifice the World Tree, and you search your library for any number of God cards. Put them onto the battlefield, then shuffle your library. So oftentimes, the World Tree is the best land in any God tribal deck. Any God tribal deck in 5 colors is running the World Tree, and they keep winning with it because it just shits out all the creatures in their deck onto the board. But if we're running something like Maskwood Nexus, and we have the World Tree on the battlefield as well, and why wouldn't we run the World Tree? The World Tree can fix all our mana for us. We can use that to take all our stuff in our library and just shit it onto the battlefield all at once with the World Tree, if we can put like a Maskwood Nexus in this deck. Alright, we're going to do a few more and call it a night. There's a land that can copy land. There is a land that can copy land. It's called Thespian Stage. Thespian Stage is a colorless land, enters untapped, taps for colorless, and you can pay 2, and it becomes a copy of another target land, except it has this ability. Thespian Stage, a fun little side note about Thespian Stage. In the Doctor Who precons, the Thespian stages that were printed in the Doctor Who precons are of the real-life globe theater that appears in the Doctor Who series, because it's in Britain. And Thespian Stage, because it copies lands, it's best friends with this other land called, say it with me, Dark Depths. Dark Depths is a legendary snowland, enters the battlefield with 10 ice counters, and the way that God intended you to get this massive creature that comes out of the ice when you get all the ice counters off it is by paying a crisp 30 mana. Thespian Stage can become a copy of Dark Depths, and because Thespian Stage enters as Thespian Stage and not Dark Depths, it has no counters on it, and as soon as Thespian Stage becomes this thing, you get Merit Lodge. All right. Thank you guys for the 1,250 likes. I appreciate it. And thank you, Dive Green, for the bear. Vesuva. That's a fun word. Good mouthfeel on Vesuva. Vesuva is $4. And you may have Vesuva enter the battlefield as a copy of any land on the battlefield. Okay, even better. Even better than Thespian Stage. What do I know about better than Thespian Stage? Thespian Stage kind of has like more control on it because Thespian Stage has it on an activated ability. Cons, you have to pay mana into the activated ability. I don't know. Suva's a cool land, though. Only $4. Just built Hashaton, Scarab's Fist. It crushes. Let's talk about... Is that the desert land? Is that the... Scares... Oh, this thing! Yeah, this thing is the face commander. Wait, no, he's not. He's the Is he the alternate or the face commander of the Esper Zombie Precon from Aether Drift? I'm not sure. But anyway, Hashaton is a 2-drop Orzhov colored 1/3 zombie wizard. Whenever you discard a creature card, you may pay 3. If you do, you create a tapped token that's a copy of that card, except it's a 4/4 black zombie. It's a good time. It's a real good time. Hashaton works really good with looting effects. Looting is the effect where you draw a card and discard a card. I love looting effects. It's one of my favorite decks. I'm probably going to do a deck tech video about it eventually. Yeah, Hashaton works great with that too. He's the alt one. Thank you, Gunner. I appreciate it. Okay, it looks like we did... Okay, Rooftop Bypass. Rooftop Bypass. Rooftop Bypass will be our last card of the night. Rooftop Bypass is a 3-mana Assassin's Creed enchantment. We're ending on a thematic $4 little enchantment. Whenever one or more non-token creatures you control deal combat damage to a player, create a 1/1 black assassin creature token with menace. That's great. So this thing makes assassins. We need assassins to get Azio to trigger and give stuff free running for 2 black. This thing feels great. Feels like a no-brainer in this deck. Also, it's aggressively costed at 3 mana, so we could cast it on the turn after we cast Ezio when he can finally attack and get that trigger for us, generating us a token. Good time. Very good suggestion. Alright guys, now that it's the end of the night, I want to thank you so much for watching. And because no one suggested land destruction in any of the cards tonight, I didn't get to show you my land destruction shame saber. So the new tradition on lives is that if you suggest land destruction, I will shame you with the lightsaber. Alright, that's all I got. I want to thank you guys so much for watching my joyous nonsense and suggesting cards for our commander deck. If you want to see any of the cards we talked about tonight, check out the Moxfield page. I want to thank you guys again for watching, and I hope that you all draw the appropriate amount of lands during your next game.